Instead, we were told that January 15th was the deadline for all boats to be out of the marina.
The city of Fort Myers voted last night to extend its security protection at the yacht basin through February. This comes after people who lived there got kicked out by the city, citing unsafe conditions after Hurricane Ian more than 3 months ago. That's when people started asking Fox 4's Colton Chavez if that February deadline was any indication of when they would get allowed back in. Colton joins us live from the yacht basin downtown in Fort Myers. And Colton, what did you find out today from city leaders?
Well, Chris, that's kind of been the question since this happened back in October, which you alluded to, is the fact that people are trying to figure out when this timeline is going to be. Now, City of Fort Myers leaders, they told me that they couldn't give me a deadline for when they were going to be able to reopen the yacht basin. But what they did tell me is that by the end of January, they're going to have that final assessment done. Now, this comes at a time when one resident tells me just last night she got a phone call saying that her boat here at the yacht basin needs to be out in under 2 weeks.
We were expecting an update on what was going to be happening, when repairs were going to happen, when people could possibly look to get back to their slip.
It's a call Vicki Baker, who has lived at the Fort Myers Yacht Basin for the past 20 years, has been counting on since the destruction from Ian forced city leaders to remove all residents from the basin nearly 3 months ago.
Instead, we were told that January 15th was the deadline for all boats to be out of the marina.
Vicki says that means her boat, Nancy, which she tells me survived the storm, like many others we saw at the basin today, she says have to find a new home in under 2 weeks.
We're not sure where we're going to go because there's just no other marinas right now because of Ian.
City of Fort Myers spokesperson Liz Matthews tells me in a statement that the city is in part expecting the final assessment by the end of January to determine official next steps for the yacht basin. Matthews did not address when the yacht basin would be reopened. And while people like Vicki say she feels blessed by the fact that her boat is in good enough shape to be moved out of the basin, what feels shaky for her family is when or if they will be able to return.
If there's going to be any way that they're going to make provision for people who have been there to return to the marina.
I brought that exact question to the city. Matthews did not provide me with that answer. As for those security measures that I want to talk about just one more time before I get out of here. So what's going to happen is that after that February deadline, what's going to happen is the third party that the city contracts to protect this area, they're going to be moved out and they're actually going to have the entire property protected by City of Fort Myers Yacht Basin staff. Now, if you want to look at that entire statement that the city gave us, I have it live on our website, fox4now.com. Live in downtown Fort Myers tonight, Colton Chavez, Fox 4.